Okay, so we're here with Will at Song Athletics. Hey, Will. Hey. Yeah, what have you brought to the show?
So today we've brought along ORB, which stands for Original Rompler Box. Now, it's a brand new prototype, so very early days, but it's based on a really simple concept, which is, so our background is making samples and virtual instruments, and since the inception of Song Athletics, I'd always wanted and thought about, can we take those samples and instruments and put them on a standalone, really simple plug-and-play box. So what we've managed to do, using the very handy open source code, which is SamplerBox, is take that and a Raspberry Pi and mount it and actually take our multi-samples, pop them onto that drive, sit that within that framework and then build this lovely little box. And yeah, for the first time in this kind of way, we've got this device that means you can access these really nicely recorded instruments in a highly simplistic and most importantly, away from the computer way.
Yeah,
so the idea is to, particularly if you're a performer and you'd like to just enjoy performing those instruments, then you can enjoy them, like I said, away from the computer. But a whole other world that we'd like to start exploring, because we're here at Machina and this is a big part of what we're interested in, is how do you integrate things like virtual instruments into hardware setups where you don't have a computer at the center of it. So the idea that we can take our instruments, plug this into whatever it is, reverb pedals, guitar, any manner of guitar pedals, Eurorack, you name it. So yeah, this has opened up a whole door for us, which is how to take our kind of inherently software sounds and integrate them into the hardware world. So yeah.
And what sort of inputs and outputs do you have for it? What sort of controls?
It's very straightforward. We've got the MIDI input here, so you just take any MIDI keyboard. This one's a USB native keyboard and plug that straight into USB. It's got power here and then the audio output, and that's it. So it's about as simple as you can get. And then using this control here, we can just switch between the different instruments. It takes a second to load because they're big files, and lots of samples, and then we can hear those different instruments and perform with them and do whatever we'd like. So,
and how do you format them for it? How do you load sounds onto it, for example?
So yeah, this is an interesting question. The process is relatively straightforward. So if you're the person that made the virtual instruments and you've got access to all of those samples, then it's just a case of renaming them and ordering them in the way that this software likes to read them. So that's a long but simple job.
You have bulk renamer.
Where it gets interesting is the idea with this, and whether we make that choice to figure out how to open it up and encourage people to not just use our sounds that we put on it, but also if you've recorded your own pianos or instruments, to then bring that onto the ORB and enjoy those yourself as well. So that's something that we've had a lot of feedback already, people saying, oh, can I put my own stuff on there? Yeah. And yeah, the answer is yes. And I think we're pretty keen to explore a way of being able to support people to do that really easily. So that, yeah, it's not just our sounds and instruments that you can take and have on the go, but your own stuff, which is obviously cool if you've made a record and it centers around a particular instrument, then you've got that opportunity to record it, put it on here, integrate it into your live show or whatever.
Yeah, great. And what comes pre-installed on it if someone buys one of these? What do they get in terms of content?
Well, we're just in the prototype stage, so there's not an official product, as it were, but definitely they would get versions of all of our Friends instruments. So we released a contact library about a year ago called Friends, and that is all of the classic studio instruments recorded at a high-end London studio. So that's a couple of pianos, drums, bass, acoustics, what else? Rhodes, some synthesizers. So it's the host of what you typically find in a kind of pop studio. So that's everything that would be on there to start with, and that's quite a nice core foundation to start with. But yeah, the idea is as we release more virtual instruments and are recording, whether it's strings or harps or whatever we go on to do, we'd look then to also load that onto here. And it's getting really starting to envisage how that might come together. So
great.
Yeah.
And what kind of audio fidelity is it that comes out of it?
So these are at 41K at the moment, 44.1K. So actually a lot of the libraries we make and work with and with our partners will shoot for even higher. So Friends we did at 96. But we're really happy still with 44.1 in terms of it still being super high quality and perfect for the type of environment and work that we expect people to do like this. So.
And is that stereo and mono? Stereo and mono file?
Yes. I can double confirm it's definitely stereo. And I guess it doesn't take much inside the software to output mono if you want to do that.
Cool. So what's your roadmap? What's the roadmap like for the Orb?
Well, for this in particular, I've really gone about it in a different way than usual, which is to just be very open about the approach and listen to feedback and see where both our interests and our customers' interests take us. We could put together some of these pretty quickly in this prototype form, so I think we're going to make an initial batch this side of Christmas.
Great.
We'll list that on our website and let a limited number of people be able to buy those. And then I guess based on that feedback, we'll look at, okay, to what extent might we need to scale that? And then it's as long as it takes. So it could be 6 months, could be a year. It depends. It all depends on people at home and their interest and, how many people get hold of it. But
great. And if people want to find out more, where do they go to?
Great question. So at the moment, we're asking people simply to email us at hello@songathletics.com. And then if you just put in the subject line ORB, O-R-B, then we are pulling those all together and creating a bit of a group where we'll keep open communication about our developments and then notify everyone when we put them on sale. And it's really, it's the beginning of hopefully a long journey with this product. So we want to build a community around it and a conversation and take baby steps towards making it as good as it can be.
Great. Well, thank you very much for showing us, Will. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.